Hello everyone, it is Aaron Floto here, and I am here with my September setup. And of course, it is starting to feel like fall in New York, so it's been a while since I've done a straight fall theme. I actually don't know if I've ever really done a straight fall theme. I've always kind of mixed it up a little bit. And I actually got this theme idea from a PNG that I saw, and I'll go ahead and show that on the screen now. And it's basically just like fabrics and fall feelings. So I decided to take that as inspiration for my entire theme. So I have this fun header, which is like a bunch of fabrics together, and so I guess it's kind of pillowy. I don't know, but it looks like fabric around it, with some more serif style lettering. And then yes, thanks, Mason. And then I added in a whole bunch of fall type decor items like apples and leaves, acorns, scarves, pumpkins. I added a whole bunch more stuff just around there so that I can really get that fall feeling. I am mostly using Calliographs for this, so I am using the maroon Calliograph, I am using the mustard, the indigo, olive, sunshine, cinnamon, dusty rose, and peach. So I really wanted a variety of colors for this because that's one of the most lovely things about fall, and something that I never got to experience in Florida is having like real fall weather. So when it is fall up here, I also used one Tombow, and that is the 192. So because I never really got to experience fall until I moved to New York, it never felt quite right to celebrate it with so many colors and things like that. But now that I get to experience it that way, I definitely want to bring out all those wonderful fall colors and color palettes. So now I am working on the scarf, and I just decided to do like a little design with, and honestly, so freaking easy to do these scarves, by the way. So I'm just doing just little brush strokes and changing up the colors, and then just adding little swirlies at the bottom, and that's it. That's the scarf. It's super easy to do, but honestly, it really gets the effect that you want down. So while I am finishing up this cover page by adding the lettering and some extra little bits and bobs and outlines and things like that, I just wanted to give a brief update on what's going on with the shop. So as I've mentioned a couple times, in case you haven't seen my updates, the shop is now going all digital. The last time I will be selling physical stickers in my shop is for Black Friday. And Black Friday is going to come a little early this year, just like every year, because I want to make sure, especially for international folks, that I have time to make everything and ship it out. And hopefully you are able to get it before any of your setups, because a lot of the designs that I release for Black Friday happen to be setup stickers. So a lot of annual things, a lot of future logs, things like that. So I want to make sure that everyone has enough time to do their setup so it gets there prior to January 1st. I can't guarantee that because, as always, shipping is a nightmare around that time. And once it leaves my hands, it's it's all up in the air at that point. So just a reminder that that is the last time that I am selling physical stickers, and then I am moving all digital. This is to keep up with my own life, make things manageable for me, and honestly, I think that will help a lot of particularly international folks because the shipping costs have just, I mean, skyrocketed. They've absolutely skyrocketed. And then I've had to continually send out orders over and over again to make sure that they get to people because for some reason, once they leave my hands, I have no clue what happens with them half the time. So, because of all of that and because of life changes, I'm going all digital. And honestly, that's the right decision for me. And I hope that you guys are understanding. But my caveat is that if you would like physical stickers, I am still doing my physical stickers for my patrons up until the end of 2023. And then my Patreon will also be changing to digital. It's just how life goes. So that is the best decision for me. And I hope you'll all support it. And I've already gotten a ton of messages of support. So thank you so much for all of the support ahead of time because without the community that I have, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing things like this and making big switches like this. I would continually pressure myself and put too much on my shoulders. And I don't feel like I have to do that because I have such a great community. So again, thank you so much. So moving on to the next page, we have my workout log. If you've seen the last couple of months, basically what I do is I just track my active calories for the workouts that I do, not all day. Actually, I might switch it to all day because there's times where I don't log in things, and especially when I go into the city for work, it is very hard because sometimes I'm able to work out after, sometimes I'm not. But I'm very active, so I don't, because I'm walking everywhere in the city. So I don't know. I might switch it to like my calories at the end of the day. I feel like that might be a little bit easier for me instead of having to freaking calculate everything out at the end of the. Yeah, so I'm gonna do that. Whatever, it's fine. So I have my workout log, and I think I might add a little column here at the end that just says the type of workout that I'm doing. Sometimes I write it on my dailies and sometimes I don't, and I've kind of been missing seeing what my workouts are because I haven't been doing as well of a pattern for my workouts. I've just kind of been, I'm working out from home, so we have our home gym set up, and I just go based off of how I feel in that day. I don't really follow a stringent routine anymore. So I might have to alter some of that. So I might add a column down at the end that just says the type of workout that I did. And then on the next page, I'm going to have my healthy habits. This is the same thing that I do pretty much every month where I have individual habit trackers. And honestly, I absolutely love individual habit trackers, but there have been times where that system has not worked for me, but lately it is. And one of the things that I always tell people about bullet journaling is you have to be ready to adapt, because in bullet journaling, something that works for you one month might not work for you the next. And honestly, that's okay because life is hard and you just have to cope from month to month or from day to day. So if a weekly setup is not working for you one week, it might work for you the next week. And you just have to kind of prepare to fail constantly in the bullet journaling system. But honestly, if you are willing to be adaptive and try new things out and be okay with failing, you'll find yourself being successful in this system. Because a lot of times when people say they stopped bullet journaling, it's because they did the same thing over and over again and they weren't willing to adapt. Or they were trying to do too much with like the art aspect or something like that, and they weren't configuring their bullet journal to their needs at that moment in time. So I'll always suggest try something new before you quit bullet journaling. And honestly, I am always, okay with sometimes this isn't going to work for me. And I think that's just how things have gone over the course of the last like 6 something years, is just, finding a way to be okay with struggling some months and then thriving some other months. And honestly, if you have that mentality about anything in life, that you are willing to fail, then I just feel like that makes life easier over time. Is if you're willing to mess up sometimes, then you have so much more grace for yourself when you do. And then when you kick it out of the park, or why did I say kick it? When you knock it out of the park or anything like that, then it makes those moments, you can relish those moments so much more. So I don't know. That's just introspective talk from myself, because these are lessons that I've had to learn quite a bit recently, and especially because I've started new jobs and I've struggled with those jobs and stuff like that. You have to be okay with failing once in a while. It's just how life goes. No one can be perfect all the time. So give yourself a little bit of grace. And even with bullet journaling, sometimes it's not always going to go your way. And if you keep at something, or if you try to alter it, you'll find a lot more success that way if you are able to change up your system once in a while. So just some thoughts from myself. Take it or leave it. Take it with a grain of salt. Whatever works for you. But I just wanted to kind of give you a little pep talk, because sometimes, especially towards the end of the year, you're a little stressed, and I just want to make sure that people are taking care of themselves and are willing to fail more and more until we finally get a break, hopefully at the end of the year. So like I said, these are my healthy habits. I didn't write them in on camera, but I am tracking running, walking the dogs, water, workout, ab workouts, logging meals, my prescription, supplements that I'm taking, and yoga. And sometimes I count yoga as me stretching. To be honest with you, it's just whatever I'm doing to kind of loosen up my body is good enough for me at the moment. And moving on, we have the healthy food log. So this is just 1 through 30 days, and I have a spot for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And then also a spot at the end for snacks, because I am quite a snacker. And I did realize after that I put the blue down that I didn't wait long enough, because these are water-based markers. So my suggestion, put your blocks down first and then do the outline when you're working with water-based markers, because you'll see that at the top and the bottom my color spreads a little bit because I touched the blue, and the blue is pretty inky. So make sure you put down the other colors first. just want to say prior to moving on to the last page that I put healthy food log in hopes that most things are going to be healthy. In August, they weren't because it was my birthday month, but I am hoping that I kind of go back on the trend. I really needed that mental break. I have been very stressed with work, very stressed with a lot of things going on with the digital release, with all of that kind of stuff that I really, really needed to give myself a little bit of extra grace and just eat whatever the fuck I wanted, to be quite honest with you. So, I'm probably going to be healthy and move back towards a healthy eating pattern in September. Well, fingers freaking crossed for that. But, you know, sometimes that happens, sometimes that doesn't. Anyways, here we are moving on to the master task list. I love that pattern in the background. It's like a nice plaid pattern with the two different greens, and I love that pattern, and I am going to kill it all freaking month long with those particular patterns because I loved how they turned out. So on the left hand side, I have my master task list. This is just where I list everything out. That it's kind of a brain dump throughout the month. I do move a lot of things from one month to the next, or I change some things up, especially obviously if I've completed things. So I just need a kind of dumping ground at the beginning of the month to pull tasks from. Say if I get a day off of work and I finally have some free time, I think like the day after Labor Day, I'm taking the day off, so I'll be able to look at my master task list and address some reoccurring items. and trust me, there have been a lot of reoccurring items. And then on the right hand side, I really enjoy putting goals back in my planner just so that I can. I have a goals planner that I do quarterly, but addressing it on a monthly basis is also super helpful because there's times where I look at the end of the quarter and I'm like, oh, I didn't even think about that. So I have really, really enjoyed adding a goals page into my setup. Again, I just want to thank everyone for being so understanding with life changes and transitioning and everything like that. Honestly, when I started this account, when I started doing my business and all of that other stuff back in 2015, I did not think that I would go 7 years. I honestly, it was a way for me to make some extra money. It was a way for me to share things that I was working on. And then all of a sudden, things kind of blew up and life changed dramatically over the last couple years. So it's very weird to me that this adventure began 7 years ago and is continuing on as we speak. So I do want to say that if there is ever something that you feel passionate about, always take a chance because I would have never, ever, ever dreamed that 7 years ago things would have ended up the way they've ended up. So I do think that taking a risk every once in a while on something that you really do love is always worth it. So I don't know, maybe just maybe I'm just feeling very sentimental and nostalgic, but I truly think that life goes certain ways for a reason, and I have had so much, and I feel like I'm saying goodbye, and I really am not. I want to say thank you so much to everyone that has been in support of this journey. It has been a wild ride, and it's going to continue. I don't know why I'm acting like I'm saying goodbye, but anyways, here's the final flip through for September, and I hope you love it.